I'm back with my husband for another video, and this time I wanted to do a video on things to do at Walt Disney World other than rides. Now in my last video, when we had talked about our favorite shows at the parks, I had a comment from somebody who had watched the video saying she wished that we had done our favorite shows at all of the parks rather than just at Animal Kingdom. Well, the reason that we just mentioned Animal Kingdom is because both of our favorite shows happen to be at Animal Kingdom. So that kind of brought up all of the other things to do other than just shows that are besides rides, because a lot of people go to Disney and don't go on any rides, and there's tons to see and do. So I thought we would go over that. Okay, so the first thing, now I have my list here, so if I'm looking down, that's why. The first thing that I was gonna talk about is our parades. And I got these from the Disney website, so I'll tell you which ones I've actually seen. Now, the only two parades that are coming up for the next couple of weeks on the Disney website are the Festival of Fantasy Parade and the Move It, Shake It, Dance and Play It Street Party.
Which we have seen many times.
Well,
the street party one.
The Move It, we saw Move It, Shake It, Celebrate It many times.
And now it's
Move It, Shake It, Dance and Play It. Which is not that different.
No, it's not.
Okay. So
we are not celebrating anymore. We are dancing and playing.
Right. There's nothing to celebrate. Okay. So the Festival of Fantasy Parade, we have not seen because that's usually at 3 p.m.-ish, 2 p.m.-ish. And
right. That's our nap time.
Okay. We don't nap till a little bit later. We, like I mentioned in many videos, we go back to the resort to swim and rest after lunch-ish. So, yeah, we like to spend time at the resort, especially if we're staying at a deluxe resort. I like to sit, you're paying for it, so I like to enjoy it. It's so hot, and that's when it's more crowded, so we like to go back to the hotel then and rest. So because of that, we've not seen the Festival of Fantasy Parade. However, the Move It, Shake It, Dance and Play It Street Party, we have seen many times. We've not.
I swear they have that parade like on the hour.
We've not.
They have it a couple times a day.
They do. Or it maybe just follows us. We've not sat and watched it, and it's not really the kind of parade that people, I feel like, sit and wait for. Not like the Main Street Electrical Parade or Spectrum Magic or anything like, before Wishes or anything like that.
And I imagine people wait for Festival of Fantasy because...
Yes, I would agree.
Yeah, there's really big floats. There's the fire-breathing dragon. I mean, I've seen pictures and videos of it.
Yeah. But the Move It, Shake It, Dance and Play It, we've just kind of seen
people,
walking by.
Hopping around.
Yeah. I can see people stopping to wait for it, or to watch it when it's there, but it's not something that I think you have to be there like hours in advance for.
No.
It's not like going to see Wishes or Happily Ever After now.
No.
Okay, so that's what they have for parades right now. Something that's really big at Disney is called Streetmosphere. You'll have to put the word in because it's...
Streetmosphere.
You've not heard of this?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, Streetmosphere it's the way that Disney, okay, how do I explain this? They add
I'm learning something new.
It's like entertainment and atmosphere kind of just like out in the open.
On the street.
One might say. Yes. So it is adding to the atmosphere on the street. So it's not like a stage show where it's not in a building. It's kind of out in the open, so you kind of see it as you're walking by. So there's quite a list here. So I will go through it by park, and then I'll also tell you what we've seen and what we think of them. So at Magic Kingdom, there's the Casey's Corner Pianist, which Casey's Corner, if you're not familiar, is the hot dog shop at the end left of, on the left side of Main Street near the castle, which we've been there, but we've not seen the pianist.
So this guy's inside.
The piano's out.
Streetmosphere.
The piano is outside, isn't it? I thought we've seen the piano outside, or it's like right by the doorway.
I don't know. I've never paid attention to that.
Yes, you have. We've talked about it. There's usually ducks around, so you probably haven't seen it because
I get distracted by the ducks.
Yeah. Citizens of Main Street. I think we've seen them once, but we've not. Usually, we're probably sprinting past.
Is that like? There's like the firemen and like.
I believe so, yes.
So they're just around?
And talking and... No, but they have like a little skit.
Oh, they do?
Yes, okay. It's a thing. The Dapper Dans. We've seen this. Them. Yes, they're very good.
They're famous.
Yes, this is not... Again, this is not something that like you unless you're us, would like necessarily plan to see or go out of your way to see, or for us, it's because we've been there so many times. It's like, oh, I've not seen this. I want to make sure I see it this time. But usually this type of thing is if you're in the area, and you're waiting for somebody or you're looking for something to do, it provides a good source of entertainment. So the Dapper Dans, very old-fashioned barbershop quartet type of musical ensemble. Very good.
Right.
They're very, very good.
Yeah.
And it's really fun when they sing modern songs, very old-fashioned. It's cool.
Yeah.
And they have like the little bell thingies that they ring, and they're cool.
They are cool. They're the kind of thing you'd stop and see for 5 minutes or something like that. They're street performers.
Yeah, they're very good. I think most of the shows, well, I guess I can't speak for the street performers, but I feel like most of the shows at Disney are around 20-ish minutes. So the next one is Let the Magic Begin, and that is a show that takes place in front of the castle in the morning, and it is about 5 minutes long. We're usually high energy, well rested at this point, so we're probably quickly speed walking by. So we've not stopped and watched it, is my point. We can like see it in our periphery as a blur and hear it. So if you want to give the description.
It says, join the opening ceremonies each morning with Mickey and the gang as they welcome you to the most magical place on Earth.
So this is different than the rope drop ceremony in front of the train station on Main Street. This, I feel like, would be a good thing if you have a small child and the rest of your family is going on something that the small child can't go on, to entertain them
right
away in the morning.
I would have no interest in missing my opportunity to walk right on a bunch of rides to watch Let the Magic Begin.
Right, but if you are going with teenagers and a small child that can't ride Space Mountain or
good point.
Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, this would be a great thing to, especially those two, because they're they're not far from there. But something like this I would totally watch if you had a small child and you were staying off the rides with them while somebody else went on a ride.
Right.
Okay, the next thing is the Main Street Trolley Show. We've seen this. Here, go back.
Main Street.
Okay.
Street Trolley Show. Watch these citizens pour out of a trolley during a lively performance welcoming you to the most magical place on Earth. 20 minutes.
The Dapper Dans are involved. They come off of the trolley. But it's not necessarily the same thing. Like sometimes you see the Dapper Dans without the trolley.
Dressed in costumes from a bygone era. I love bygone era.
That's fantastic!
12 performers ride a trolley until it stops for them to break out in song and dance.
Where else can you see that? Nowhere.
That does not happen in your daily life.
No. I would bet even if you are from a bygone era, that did not happen then, where 12 performers spilled out of a trolley and broke out into song and dance. I'm quite certain. I'm not from a bygone era. I was born in the 80s, but I'm quite certain that didn't happen. Well, when is a bygone era? When does that start? Not the 80s, so...
There's more.
Oh, there's more.
They put on a show for whoever is wandering the street. Bursting with excitement, they belt out tunes such as The Most Magical Place on Earth, Walking Right Down the Middle of Main Street, USA,
I love that song.
and the Trolley Song, all seamlessly strung together and choreographed to lively dance routines. So, stop when the trolley stops and be dazzled by the show.
Who doesn't want to be dazzled? I mean, that's fantastic. Okay, so the next one at Magic Kingdom is The Muppets Present Great Moments in American History.
Join Kermit and friends for historical sketches and songs. See the past like never before.
This is right outside Liberty
Hall
Square.
of Presidents.
Yes, I'm sorry, this is in Liberty Square, right outside Hall of Presidents. I'm not sure if this is temporary because the Hall of Presidents is currently closed. It was supposed to open on July 4th. I don't think it did though. I'll look and then you can put that in here. But
It involves a town crier.
again, where else do you see these things? Nowhere. Nowhere do you have a town crier other than Disney World. What needs to be cried?
A town crier and plenty of Muppet mayhem.
A town crier in mayhem. That's fantastic.
What's the next one?
Okay. The Royal Majesty Makers.
Little lords and ladies can acquire the graces of princes and princesses with the help of these trusted royal advisors. What is this?
Cavort. There is cavorting involved.
Cavort with ambassadors of Cinderella's court. Okay, I have no idea.
They're teaching them to be royalty. They're teaching children to be royalty, it sounds
And
like.
expanding their vocabulary with words like cavort. It's a good word.
It is a good word. And lady in waiting. Squire extraordinaire.
Says it's for all ages, but I think it's for
Small children. Right. Lastly is the Main Street Philharmonic. And we have seen this before. They're very, very good. They just, I don't know, it's a band. They're very, very good. Okay, at Hollywood Studios, they have the Citizens of Hollywood. And this is kind of like the Citizens of Main Street, where we've seen them. Their spiel is kind of, or their shtick is old Hollywood style, where they're talking about being in like movies and music and stuff like that. And do you have a better description of it?
Yes. Get pulled into the magic and become part of the Hollywood that never was and always will be. The citizens are ready for their close-up, but they're never gonna make the big time without a little assistance from the audience. Hey, that's you. Yeah,
Here's the thing.
We're not into that.
Here's the thing. If I were, okay, I digress. I'm not into audience participation. That being said, Disney is great about not forcing people. Like, if you didn't want to do it, they wouldn't make you. You know, this is not, totally wouldn't. But I still wouldn't want to chance it. And to be honest, I would probably run the other way. No, we have seen this from afar.
Right,
It didn't
and we
interest
know
me,
we knew
to be
it was
honest.
audience participation, so at least I did. And
We saw them talking to people. Yeah,
right.
we saw
and
them
so
talking.
I've kind of like never really tried to get close to them. They have no schedule on here for when it happens. Are you ready for this? Here's what it says. Be on the lookout. Keep those peepers peeled, because the gang could show up just about anywhere at any given moment. Shows occur intermittently throughout the day.
I have heard many things regarding the sporadic entertainment at Disney World, in that when there is like a large backup bottleneck of people somewhere, Disney will put out entertainment like nearby to kind of help spread and disperse people out. So maybe this is that type of thing. But yes, this is the kind of thing where you would not plan to see them, but they'd kind of entertain you as you walked by, hence Streetmosphere. Okay, at Animal Kingdom, they have the Discovery Island Carnival and Viva Gaia Street Band. So they are like African bands, music, dance party type of things. Stilts. There are stilt walkers as well.
Oh yeah,
The Discovery Island Carnival is the Discovery Island Carnival. It has people on stilts. We've seen that as we've walked by. And it's actually very cool. But again, we've not stayed for it. We've just walked by.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of how these Streetmosphere things work.
Unless, again, this would be a good thing to entertain a small child while somebody else went on Expedition Everest with an older child. I think that would probably be the main people who would watch this. You're not gonna, I wouldn't think you would go watch this with like a teenager. And then at Epcot, probably have the biggest list that actually I think we've done all of these. Okay, so the first one is Jamators at Future World East.
I love the Jamators.
I always want to call them the janitors, so it's kind of hard for me to pronounce. But they have a schedule. They come out at Future World East, and they look like janitors, and which I feel like that's, you can't even say that anymore, like custodial technicians, and they do percussion style music by like beating on their like trash cans and cleaning supplies and whatnot. It's actually very cool.
This cleanup crew breaks it down as they drum with some unlikely utensils.
It's very cool. I recommend it. That one we actually did plan because there is not a ton to do at Epcot in the morning before Future World opens, but we like to go there early anyhow, and so we had time. And
before World Showcase opens?
I'm sorry, yes, before World Showcase opens, because World Showcase doesn't open until 11 a.m. So we had time, and I actually scheduled, it's not like you have to get there a long time in advance. We were there like 2 minutes before the show started, watched it, and it's 10 minutes long, and then we went on with our day, but totally worth it.
They have it once an hour.
Yep.
Starting at 9:20.
Very cool.
Until
3:35 is the last one.
Yeah.
The Jeweled Dragon Acrobats in China. Now these
Ooh.
will be outside if weather permitting, but if it's kind of gross weather, then they'll go inside. But these are, like they sound, Chinese acrobats. Fantastic.
Yeah,
we have
they're good.
seen them a couple of times. We've seen them outside where then we didn't stay and watch the whole show. We stopped and watched some of it, but then inside we watched the entire show. But yes, very, very good.
A vibrant acrobatic troupe from China that performs breathtaking feats of strength, agility, and balance, for sure.
Very good. I
Very
highly
cool.
recommend it. The next one is Mariachi Cobre, and that is in Mexico. We've heard them as we've walked by. This is not one that we've stopped to listen to. It seems like this is not something that people would plan, be like, okay, I want to be here at this time to listen to the mariachi band, but people do kind of conglomerate and stop and listen to them. They're very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
They're very good, but yeah, they are outside of
Well, they're in Mexico.
La Hacienda de San Angel.
Yeah.
And the next one is Servour Amusant in France, and we have watched him as well.
He's cool.
And we actually, this is another one that I intentionally wanted to see, so I'm like, okay, let's be here at this time.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to sit in advance. People, I would say most people probably just stop and watch as they're walking by. Like when they see it, they're like, oh, hey, let's watch this. It's a 20-minute show. He performs outside of, just on the main walkway in the France Pavilion. And you'll have to put this picture in, but
Yeah, he's stacking chairs up like really high, and then he climbs up the chairs.
And then, like, stands on
and,
one
like,
hand.
And then like, yeah.
Yeah, some like amazing acrobatic type stuff. That's very cool as well. And then the last one is Sergio in Italy. And he did like,
remember them.
he was
Or
like
him.
juggling, I want to say like soccer balls.
Oh yeah,
and,
Laugh with Master Juggler and just loading. And mime Sergio as he engages you in a lighthearted old Italian, I thought it said pizza style.
Yeah, so did I.
Piazza style juggling show.
I want to say there's flags involved as well. We've not seen this one. Unless we did. When we were eating at Vietnam, is it Via Napoli?
Yeah, we watched out the window.
Out the window, yes. But we've not watched it closer than that. They're all really good. There's not bad ones, but this one we haven't seen up close, really. So the next thing are stage shows. There are many stage shows in Disney World. Okay, at the Magic Kingdom, there are Captain Jack Sparrow's Pirate Tutorial, and we have seen this. It's outside of Pirates of the Caribbean ride in Adventureland. It's just across. There's like a little stage there. It's just across from the entrance, and they have a pirate out there teaching little kids to be pirates. And then there's Mickey's Royal Friendship Fair, and this takes place outside in the front of the castle at the Magic Kingdom. This is another one that we just kind of caught as we were walking by. It's something that, well, why don't you pull up a description of it? It's something, again, that you would not necessarily make a plan to, oh, hey, I want to catch Mickey's Royal Friendship Fair, but if you need something for a small child, to keep a small child entertained while an older child does something bigger, this would be a good option.
This summer, skippity-doo-dah to the Cinderella Castle forecourt stage for the fairest fair of them all. It's a live stage show at Magic Kingdom Park, and you're cordially invited. Mickey and his friends have ventured far and wide to gather Disney pals from all over to star in a royal friendship fair. Goofy has invited Tiana and friends from the land of bewitching. It goes over the whole story here.
Generally, it sounds like there are singing and dancing and probably a small amount of fireworks.
Here you go. Lively dancing, dazzling effects, and an original song and memorable music from The Princess and the Frog, Tangled and Frozen.
There you
There
go.
you go.
Okay.
10:30, 11:30, 1, 2, 4:15. At least today. I don't know if that's different every day.
Yeah.
It's Saturday. Maybe there's more shows on weekends.
So the next thing are the stage shows at Hollywood Studios. So the first one is Beauty and the Beast live on stage. I have seen this many times. I love it. It is very, very good. You're in a theater, an outdoor theater. You have bench-style bleacher seats, and it's probably about 25 minutes. Very good. Live action, very good for all ages, I would say.
Yeah, of all the things we've talked about so far, that is probably my favorite.
I would say it's one of my favorites. For the first time in forever, a Frozen sing-along celebration. You go outside and sing Frozen songs with your children. So that one's kind of self-explanatory. Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular.
That's cool.
This is It is outside. It's covered. It is either bench style or bleacher style seats. I can't recall.
I think they're benches.
I didn't care for this, but it's not the story of Indiana Jones so much as it is the making of Indiana Jones.
Right. It's kind of a behind the scenes. They show you how they do the stunts, and then they show you how they did them.
Yes.
They take people from the audience that volunteer to be part of a scene.
Yes, you volunteer. It's not forced participation.
Right.
And it will not occur if there is lightning in the area.
Yeah, we learned that.
The hard way. The next thing is Jedi Training Trials of the Temple. And this is not something we have seen or...
Yeah, I'm looking up it's for preschoolers, kids, and tweens. Watch younglings train in the ways of the Force and put their skills to test against the dark side.
Yeah. It kind of sounds like the pirate training tutorial thing.
Yeah.
But it's for Star Wars.
You do a lightsaber battle.
Okay. Moving on to Animal Kingdom. There is Festival of the Lion King, which we've talked about.
Best one yet.
Fantastic. That I'm pretty sure is bleacher style seats. I don't think there's backs on those benches.
No, there's not.
It is a theater in the round, as you like to point out. That is indoors and very, very fantastic. They have acrobats, they have singing, they have dancing, they have like parade floats. It's very cool. Highly recommend it.
Yep.
Finding Nemo the musical. That is inside a theater, so you actually have like an actual seat, and with a stage in front of you, and they have the performers with like enormous puppet type things, I guess, so you can see the performers and the puppets. This is very highly rated. I didn't like it. I couldn't get past the fact that you can clearly see the people, but everybody else loves it. So, I mean, it's a great quality.
It's worth checking out.
Yes, it is a great quality. And I would say that this is probably one of the most popular stage shows in Disney, but it's just not my thing. And then the last one for stage shows at Animal Kingdom is Flights of Wonder. And that is fantastic. I love it so much. I've talked about this. This was my favorite stage show, or one of my favorite stage shows. One of my favorite shows in the previous video that I had done. It's just wonderful. I love the jokes. I get the jokes. There's birds. There's Guano Joe, his flag, his tour group, the whole thing. It's great. I love it. And it's pretty short too. It's like 20 minutes. You don't have to be there far in advance. And then at the end, you can go up and see the birds up close if you want to.
Yep.
Okay, so other live entertainment. So at Hollywood Studios, they have the Music of Pixar Live.
That sounds new. They have the Music of Pixar Live dining package as well. It's interesting. Oh, it looks like it's on the Beauty and the Beach. Oh my
Beauty
god.
and the Beach.
It looks like it's on the Beauty and the Beast stage. Swoon to toe-tapping tunes from Finding Nemo, Cars, Toy Story, and more. Well, you still can. The final show takes place August 27th, 2017. That's good to know.
And
I'd like
it's
to
like
go
an
to that.
actual
Look at that.
orchestra.
There's like an orchestra.
It's like
and
an actual
everything.
orchestra.
That's cool.
With a screen behind them with a big picture of Buzz Lightyear.
I would like to do that.
Okay, Animal Kingdom. They have Shakranati, which I believe that one is a performer. He plays, what is it called? Not a banjo.
I don't know.
It's
never
like a
heard of this one
guitar
either.
type of thing.
Oh yeah, a sitar.
Indian music. Performing on a sitar.
Tranquil and stirring.
And then they have the Harambe Wildlife Party, which is African party. It reminds me of
The thing with
Discovery
the sticks.
Island Carnival.
We've
Which
seen that.
we've not seen any of these live entertainment things yet. And then
I thought we've seen the Harambe Wildlife Party. No? Okay.
I don't know. I
I
thought
want to see a picture. Oh, it's nightly. We're not usually there at night.
no.
So maybe not.
No, we've not. And then the new one is Swotu Waya Navi Drum Ceremony. So this is in Pandora, in Animal Kingdom, and it is a drum ceremony. That's all I know about it. Hopefully we'll see it when we are there this year.
Yeah, it's a drum ceremony.
Not a lot of information.
Massive drums, hanging orbs, colorful shells,
I mean, I like orbs.
and many other elements native to the Na'vi.
And then at Epcot, there is quite a bit as well. So there's the American Music Machine, and this takes place, this is a singing group, it takes place in the, what is it called? The American Adventure Pavilion. It's not the American Adventure Pavilion, it's the stage.
That's stage?
Yes, in the American Adventure Pavilion. And then you can sit anywhere. We've seen this before. They're great. And they have bench-style bleacher seats, so they have a back to them. You don't have to be there in advance. Really, you can just like come and go as you please while it's happening. Very entertaining. They have the British Revolution, which takes place obviously in the UK. It's in the back. We've heard them as well. That is kind of like a rock band style. They're fantastic.
That's on a little stage too, but I believe it's just standing room.
I would agree. Matsuriza. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Matsuriza. They are the Japanese drummers. If you look at the really tall, it's the temple in Japan across from the pagoda. They come out and they're these women Japanese drummers, and they have like enormous drums. They're very, very good.
They're cool.
You just stand outside. You can come and go as you please. We've seen them several times when we were leaving Mitsukoshi, which is like one of my favorite stores. Quick Step. We've not seen this. It is a quartet in the UK. There is music. Sounds like there is likely dancing.
Oh, I put Quick Step in the search on DisneyWorld.com and nothing came up. Is it one word? It is for preschoolers, kids, tweens, teens, and adults. Who does that leave out?
Babies.
Enjoy a rousing acoustical set by Quick Step, a UK quartet performing 5 days a week at the UK Pavilion in Epcot with authentic Scottish, English, and Irish songs and infectious fiddle, flute, and Irish frame drum sounds. They will quickly transport you across the pond.
Yes, we've not seen them.
No.
The last one is Voices of Liberty. We have seen this. They performed inside the American Adventure Pavilion, right outside of, isn't it the American Adventure? Isn't that the name of the show?
Name of the show?
Yes.
I think so.
Yes, they performed right before the name, right before the name of the show. They performed right before the show. We've seen the American Adventure before. It's similar in style to Hall of Presidents, where it's in a dark theater and you...
All of the actors are animatronic.
Yes.
And it's really kind of cool how they appear and disappear and
It's good.
the scenes change.
But that's not what this is. That's not what this is about. This is
No.
about Voices of Liberty, which is a group of singers. Are there men involved, or is it just women?
No, I think it's men and women.
I just remember the women because their dresses are huge and they're very like, what would you say, like 1800s, 1700s style.
Yes.
But very, very good. And they perform inside the American Adventure. Americana in the Rotunda. 15-minute show, and they sing patriotic songs.
Acapella.
Acapella, yes. Okay, lastly are the nighttime spectaculars. So, Magic Kingdom, they have Once Upon a Time, which is the castle show, and then Happily Ever After, which is the fireworks show. We've not seen this one yet in person. We've seen it online. It looks fantastic. Looks even cooler than Wishes, which we've seen before. So we're excited to do that pretty soon. Animal Kingdom has Rivers of Light and the Tree of Life Awakenings. So the Tree of Life Awakenings we've seen. They're 5-minute shows. They occur every, how often?
What was it, like 15, 20 minutes?
Something like that. It's not long.
Look it up.
They're short shows. You can just stop and watch them anywhere. And there are projections on the Tree of Life, and you can see creatures moving. It was pretty impressive, actually. I don't know if it's necessarily worth keeping a child up late to see, but it was cool if you're there to see. I don't know that I would make a special trip for it.
Every 10 minutes, flickering fireflies magically appear and stir to life the wondrous animal spirits carved into the tree's towering trunk. That's what I thought was cool. So if you've seen the Tree of Life, you know that there's all sorts of animal carvings into the tree. And basically they use projections to make the carvings look like they're moving and doing things.
Yes, it was cool. Like I said, it's cool if you're there. I wouldn't go there separately just to see that.
No.
We've not seen Rivers of Light.
Nope. Not yet.
Does that mean you want to at some point?
Yeah, don't you?
I'm not really into nighttime shows so much
Oh.
because I always want to get back to have our cordials and our desserts.
Embrace the magic of nature during a nighttime scene awash with captivating special effects, music, and animal folklore.
It's lasers and like water fountains and stuff like that. It does look very cool, actually. And let's see
It's
how.
very colorful.
Yes, it is 15 minutes long, and
Is that it? That's surprising to me.
yeah,
Because you sit around.
these are bench style seats, I believe.
Right.
We've seen them.
You sit around that. I don't know what it is. A pond, a river. It's
Yes.
a river. Rivers of light.
I know, but it does seem pond-ish.
It's a very wide river.
Perhaps it's like the pond, like, or the river, like, goes out into a pond. It's like an inlet. Rivers or inlets of light. Hollywood Studios, they have Disney Movie Magic. I have no idea what that is.
Projections on.
Oh, yes.
Um.
Grauman's Chinese Theater.
Yep.
Projections on the theater. Phantasmic, which we've seen. It is our least favorite fireworks show there because you have to wait for so long just standing out in the road. And then when you get in, you're sitting on those seats, and those are bleacher seats, right? Mm-hmm. Yes, bleacher seats. And they have the antics and the participation. It's cool though with the big boat that comes by and the fireworks and the laser projections when it works. One time we got kicked out in the middle because it didn't work.
Right. The show itself is good, but I would argue it is probably not worth all of the rigmarole you have to go through beforehand.
Since we've been going as adults, we have seen it once. Once every so many years, I would say we would do it, but
I mean, we'll do it again sometime.
yeah, but not this trip.
No.
And then Star Wars: A Galactic Spectacular. This takes place at Hollywood Studios. Most people, it seems like, sit on the ground in front of the theater, quite a ways in front of the theater. But we were going to do this and then we left. And I did not like this because
Excuse me.
you're sitting on the ground. At least when if you're at the Magic Kingdom and you're sitting, you're usually sitting like on the curb. So it's a little bit more comfortable than just sitting on flat ground. For over an hour, there were people sitting there. And it was so hot. We were there in August, and the ground was still hot from during the day. So we just left. We didn't see that. I mean, I'd never seen Star Wars. I don't care for Star Wars. At that point, he had never seen Star Wars, so it wasn't really a big passion of ours anyway. I'm sure it is wonderful, as all productions Disney puts on are.
Yes.
And then lastly, in Epcot, they have Illuminations Reflections of Earth. And this is, well, it takes place in World Showcase Lagoon. They have this big, gigantic globe come out in the middle, and they have projections on it. Or actually, it's not really projections. It's a screen.
It's like LED lights.
Yes, and there's fireworks involved, music, that kind of thing. It's good.
It's cool. If you're sitting in the right spot, like fireworks will shoot off like right in front of you, which is quite alarming.
I was just going to say that. It is nothing compared to Magic Kingdom, though. Magic Kingdom by far has the best nighttime shows.
Yeah.
So as you can see, there are tons and tons of things to do at Disney World outside of rides, and this does not include shopping, and there are other shows too, like 3D shows that this does not include. So there's definitely a lot of things to do to keep you entertained. So if you're not a big ride person, you want to go to Disney, or if it's just like you're going with a small child and you don't know if there's going to be something for them to do while the bigger kids ride rides, then hopefully this gives you a little bit more information about that and puts your mind at ease. So I hope you guys found this helpful, and thanks for watching. Bye.